Yo, yo, yo! What's up? Great junkies! We're listening to So yeah, Motley Crue, I've had this for a while. Getting around to listening to it again. Good shit. Let's get into these pickups. Dead fucking Kennedys. Oh yeah. First press. Fresh fruit for rotting vegetables. This is one I seen at a record show, like 2 months ago? The entire bottom here was ripped. And it was white, like somebody ripped something off of it. And it was 20 fucking bucks. And it was the OG copy like this one. It was 20 bucks. I got this for 8 bucks. Original, like mint condition. Vinyl's in great shape. And something that the other one didn't have. This one actually has the poster, which is really nice. It's humongous. As you can see. But the other one didn't even have the poster, and they wanted 20 bucks for it. This one was 8 bucks at my local shop. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if this guy like started like smoking crack or something, because he's been pricing some really good stuff low. And I don't know why, because there's certain things that he has that are priced high, and I'm wondering why something like this is priced at 8 bucks. It is an original press, and the fucking vinyl is like near mid plus, and I give the jacket about a like near mid minus because of a little tiny, I don't even remember where it's at, that's how small it is. Oh yeah, right here, it's a little tiny crease, nothing you can even notice, but very happy to pick that up. Next one, this is some like 80s alternative rock, The Violent Femmes. You know, alternative 80s stuff, kind of new wavy in a way. Really, really good record. I know I've seen and heard of The Violent Femmes in some of the books I picked up, like the new wave and punk books. So I definitely grabbed it up when I seen it. It was, you know, fairly cheap, like 3 bucks or something. So this was a really good pickup. Very, very good album. Definitely enjoy listening to it. I'm probably going to give it another spin really, really soon, because it definitely was a good find. Next one, this is some late 60s, early 70s folk rock from a band I cannot pronounce the fucking name of for the life of me. Lindisfarne, and it's called Nicely Out of Tune. Pretty cool record on Elektra. Have not got around to spinning this one yet, but it's labeled as folk, so I give it, you know, maybe some folk, maybe a little psych in there, but probably mainly folk. Really cheap pickup. You know, one of those 70s bands, and Zeke was talking about this as well, that people don't really pick up a lot and aren't very popular or weren't very popular. And, you know, now it's like people like me who want to listen to music that isn't all over the fucking radio from the time I was a kid to now. You know, I want to hear shit that people bypassed back in the 70s, not shit that has been so overplayed that it's fucking ridiculous. So that's why I pick up stuff like that. This is a really, 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 really good record. This is the Lemon Pipers Jungle Marmalade. This is on Buddha Karma Sutra. This is their second record. This is some really, really good pop, psych, rock and roll. Only bad thing about it is that the band got completely shafted by this record label. They wanted them to be, you know, poppy and write catchy type music, and, you know, the same old story. You know, just tried to get them to be something they weren't, and they weren't digging it, so they just rolled out after 2 records. They couldn't take it no more. But the 2 records they did make are amazing. Now, I've only heard this one, but I'm almost positive the first one, Green Tambourine, was like a top charting song. It was actually noted to be one of the first bubblegum pop songs to ever top the charts. So if you do your history, this band here, the Lemon Pipers, probably had the first bubblegum pop song ever to top charts. So that's a pretty cool thing to have, even though they've only made 2 records. But this one here, I spun the whole thing once, and I'm ready to spin it again already. Definitely catchy, really good, great sounding, just an amazing record. If you don't have this, I definitely go try to check this out. Jungle Marmalade by the Lemon Pipers. Definitely a good grab. Next one, this is some 70s rock and roll, basically vocal type rock. This is an English band called The Family Dog. It's called A View from Rollins Head. The lead singer, Steve Rollins, is obviously who they're talking about. I thought this was going to be a little psychedelic-y. Not so much. This is their second album. Their first album, can't really remember the title of it, but Led Zeppelin, including Jimmy Page, was all over their first record. Now, that one's probably a little hard to find, considering Zeppelin fans are grabbing it up probably like there ain't nobody's business. They did have some chart-topping songs. On this album, I think the main song was Something, or no, Symphony. The song Symphony from this album was a top charter in Netherlands or something like that. And it's not a bad record, but it's not really up my alley. It's not hard. It's kind of more softer. Lyrics are really good. Vocal harmonies are great. It's definitely a good pickup. Gatefold, like I said on Karma Sutra, not a bad pickup for the price. It was fairly cheap. Now this record right here, this is the CA Quintet. Now these guys are from, I believe, Oxford, Ohio. Oh no, these guys are not from Oxford, Ohio. The Lemon Pipers. Those guys were from Oxford, Ohio. The Lemon Pipers, the Jungle Marmalade. Those guys were from Oxford, Ohio. These guys are actually from Minnesota. I had to check my note here. I remember I wrote this down. This one, very special. This is a reissue on the label Psycho. The name of the album is Trip Through Hell. This is a pretty hard psych record to get your hands on. Now, when these guys came out back in the 60s, they only pressed about 1,000 of these, okay? And not even all 1,000 of them sold. So you can only imagine how hard it is to get the original. I looked up the original on Discogs, $1,800. So I was pretty lucky to find this reissue. This is one of the first reissues of this album, so it's a more of a pricey one. This one goes for $50, $60. I've seen it go for about $150. This is in a wonderful condition, near mint vinyl, near mint condition, everything. I got this for under $10, so I was very happy to pick this up. And if you're a Psych fan, this is something that's got to be in your collection. And I'll show you the label, because it's a kind of like an obscure type label. It's a Psycho. Now the thing about the reissues is there's a song that's on the original version that's you're not going to find on any of the reissues. The only reissue you're going to find that extra song and more information is the 1995 reissue that was on Sunday's Records. Now that reissue has extra songs. It's got more like an extensive liner notes and everything, and it's a little bit pricey. But this is like the original reissue, so this is actually more pricey. So, I mean, if you don't care about originals and this and that, you might want to just pick up the 95 Sundays reissue. But this one's really hard to find, and I think they're all kind of hard to find because this record is one of those psych rarities that is definitely really cool to have in your collection, and it's a really great record. I spun it, definitely digging it. Next, 2 records are from the same band, H.P. Lovecraft, obviously named after the famous journalist H.P. Lovecraft, who wrote horror, science fiction, fantasy stuff. Just another great psych band. This album was amazing. I got to spin this one the other night. Definitely a good add to the Psych collection. H.P. Lovecraft. This is their first record. I liked that so much that I went back the next day and I picked up their second record, which is H.P. Lovecraft 2. Did not get to spin this one yet, but if it's anything as the last one, it's going to be amazing. So H.P. Lovecraft, definitely another great Psych band to check out if you're into that stuff. Next one is the Incredible String Band, and I believe this is like their second or third record. Obviously 1970s Psych rock stuff here, late 60s, early 70s Psych rock stuff. Did not get to spin this yet, although I have listened to some of it on YouTube. Definitely a wonderful album. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the title of the album. I have no idea what this one word is, so I'm not even going to attempt to do it. I know it starts with the 5,000 spirits of the, and then it's something of the Onion, so I'm not sure. But definitely one hell of a good-looking Psych record, and I cannot wait to get around to spinning that one. That's on the list. Next one, this is an amazing record from another amazing old-time Psych band called Fever Tree. This is one to get in your collection, guys. If you are into Psych, if you're into good old-school rock and roll psychedelic music, Fever Tree, Another Place, Another Time, or Another Time, Another Place, excuse me, is just one hell of a record, man. I put this on. This is probably, next to the Lemon Piper, is probably one of the best records I picked up this weekend, or this week. Definitely great. This is on the Uni label. This is their second record, I believe, and they do have a first. Their first is amazing as well, but this one's definitely worth a listen, definitely worth a check out. Check it up on YouTube. Check it out. Like I said, Fever Tree. Definitely a cool record and a cool find. Next one, the Whackers. They do a really good rendition of an Elvis Presley song, Don't Be Cruel. Well, obviously that's not I don't know if Elvis actually, that might not even be like an Elvis song, but we all know it from Elvis, Don't Be Cruel. This is the Whackers. And tell me this guy right in the front here, tell me he don't look like a fucking whacker if you ever seen one. Oh, he's a whacker, alright. But anyway, not a bad record. 70s rock, you know, obscure kind of rock. I never heard of the Whackers before. Really cheap pickup. And like I said, they do a really good version of Don't Be Cruel in here. Really was very impressed by it. You know, always growing up to the more Elvis style, and then hearing it done like more of a 70s rock style, they did a really good job of doing a rendition of that. Next one, this is one everybody knows, the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Incense and Peppermints, obviously very classic record. I'm not going to talk too much about it. This lady, Kathy, fucked it all up. She wrote her name up here. She doodled all over the back. Gave me a good price on the record, because other than the writing, this record is in near mint to mint condition. Great shape, and got it for such a low price. I've been waiting to get this one in the collection for a long time, so it's finally here, and I listened to the whole thing, and I really wasn't that impressed. Incense and Peppermints is a good song. There's a couple other good tracks, but nothing super stand out about it. I'm going to actually skip this back, because I think we have a dust problem here on this record, and it was skipping a little bit. So I'm going to skip it back to the beginning, because I ain't got time to clean that off right now, and I don't have any air blow with me because I ran out, which really sucks, because that's like a necessity if you're listening to records. You got to get some air, some dust spray. The next few records and the last few records are kind of like cheapier pickups. This was Eddie Kendricks, Going Up in Smoke, obviously good old funk soul type stuff. Picked that one up. This one, Thomas Dolby and Aliens Ate My Buick. Everybody has seen this cover, pretty famous cover. I think George Clinton might be on this record. Did not get to check that out yet. When I picked up this record, the guy I bought it from showed me a picture of him, and I forget who it was from Funkadelic, but obviously he was saying how he used to roll with them and hang out with them back in the funky days, you know. And he was telling me how he actually still makes music, and he gave me one of his CDs, which I'll be uploading later on this week to my YouTube channel, so you guys can check it out. Really good funky shit here. Mark Rock B. Scott. The CD is called Life Ain't Nothing But a Party, and it is one hell of a CD. Now, he recorded it in his house, so it's not like super great production, but it's not that bad that you can't enjoy it. Definitely a good listen. If you're into funk and you're into that old funky, you know, funkadelic type stuff, Parliament, whatever, you might really, really like this. So I'll upload that later on to my channel. Next one, thought this was going to be more of like a rockabilly, Stray Cats, Rockettes type thing. This is Flash Cadillac and the Continental Kids. It is kind of rockabilly. It does got that feel, but it's just not as good as like some bands that are more popular and more, I think, a lot better at doing it than these guys. I listened to it once. I really wasn't super enthralled by it, although I did listen to it low and it was late at night. Maybe I need to give it another spin. Check it out if you're into rockabilly. You might like it. This is one that I pulled out and cleaned. Obviously, Funkadelic's greatest hits. It's been laying in a cleanup pile for such a long time. But I just got around to cleaning it, and it's in really good shape. I was throwing that on the other day, checking that out. So it's kind of like a new find for me because it was just laying in my stacks. I picked up this record, The Movies, and this is, you know, kind of like, I think this is from 1978. And the cool thing about this is it's on this really nice clear vinyl from 78. And it sounds really good. Now, it's kind of like, you know, rock and roll, but like, you know, more, not hard rock, kind of like light rock, maybe a little new wave type feel to it. You know, it's obviously from 78, so it's just a little before that, but it has a little bit of that new wave sound to it. It's not that bad, and the name of it is Bullets Through the Barrier. Not a bad record, really cheap pickup. I really like the clear vinyl, so I grabbed it. Next one, this is one that I wanted to add to my record cover collection, because this is what I've seen in the book. I have books, you know, record cover books, and I'm always trying to pick up the covers I like, and this is just one I liked. This is by Sparks Propaganda. Got these dudes like tied up here, and they're tied up in the back of this car. I don't know, just a record cover I really liked. I spun the record. It's not too bad. Late 70s, you know, 78, 79, I think, or really early 80s, if that. Same thing as kind of like the Movies. Kind of has that new wave flow to it. Light rock and roll feel, you know, a little uppity. But I kind of didn't like the voice of the guy singing. I wasn't really wasn't connecting with his style of singing. But there is one other record by these guys I want to grab and try out and see if I like them or not. Because the other one's another cover that I've been looking for. So there's that one. And the last two are by one of my favorite, well, one of my newer favorite bands, The Jam. These are 2 EPs by The Jam. This one, they actually do a rendition of War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. It's okay. It's not that great. Now, this one is really good. I love this a lot. Really good EP. It's got like 5 songs on it. Liza Radley, Tales from the Riverbank, Absolute Beginners. Really looking for, what is it, In the City, or what's the name of their first album? Something City. Really looking for that, and I'm also looking for their 3rd album, which is All Mod Cons or something like that. I think something around those lines. And I have been not having very much luck finding their full-length LPs, but I'm really, really looking because I'm really digging The Jam. Love their style, and they kind of got a little punky mod type flow to them, and I just really enjoy it. So I want to find some more Jam stuff, but for now, the 2 EPs are doing pretty good. Pretty much that's all I picked up. Hope you enjoyed the new Motley Crue. I got to dust it off a little bit before I listen to the rest of it. Here we got the new Kiss, and I was also going to talk a little bit about this album that I picked up. Not like talk a little bit about it, just kind of show it off. Everybody knows this, the Electric Prunes. I Had Too Much to Dream last night. I got this on reissue really cheap. Some of these GarageBand reissues, man, like $11, $10, and they do such a good job on them. If you ever see them, pick them up, because you're going to pay a lot less for a brand new reissue, mid-condition, than you are the original. And really, you know, what's the difference, right? You're just trying to listen to the music. If that's the case, pick up the reissues. They're only like $11. I think I got this for like $11, and it's a really good album. Electric Prunes, Psych, Garage type stuff, really, really good stuff. And that's it, guys. Test W22, Crate Junkies. I'll be doing my 100 subs contest later this week. Keep on watching, keep on commenting, and hope you guys have a good week. Much love, VC, and I'm out. Peace.
Oh,
Motley Crue, I've had this for a while. Getting around to listening to it again. Good shit. Let's get into these pickups. Dead fucking Kennedys. Oh yeah. First press. Fresh fruit for rotting vegetables. This is one I seen at a record show, what, like 2 months ago? The entire bottom here was ripped, and it was white, like somebody ripped something off of it. And it was 20 fucking bucks, and it was the OG copy like this one. It was 20 bucks. I got this for 8 bucks. Original, like, mint condition. Vinyl's in great shape, and something that the other one didn't have. This one actually has the poster, which is really nice. It's
will seduce you. Welcome to Los Angeles.
yo, yo, yo! What's up? Straight junkies. We're listening to